Today I fucked up by communicating with my wife. You know how one of the most important parts of a healthy relationship is communication? That thought was on my mind this morning when I woke up next to my wife. The morning sunlight made her skin glow with an aura I'm sure one could only see through my eyes. I shuffled over to her side of the bed, trying to be as gentle as I could. I wanted to preserve that moment, but I couldn't resist the urge to be closer to her. I settled in with my head laying next to hers and looking directly into her beautiful blue eyes. Her closed lids could never hide what I know to be the most lovely pair of eyes I've ever seen. She must have felt me there because her eyes began to slowly open. Just when I thought I couldn't feel any more content in my life, she smiles at me. I smile right back at her, and with the thought of communication on my mind I promptly said, "You don't let me spoon with you while we sleep because you'll fart on my dick, right?" She hasn't spoken to me since. Too long did not read. I asked my wife if she was afraid of farting on my dick. Wife won't talk to me. Sounds like the reaction of a dick farter to me. Mine will fart on me then laugh so hard she's gasping for air. Lol. Good fucking morning to you, too. This made me laugh so hard I farted. I love this so much, rolling on the floor laughing. Married 13 years. Hate being spooned in my sleep, but not for fart reasons. You communicated yourself out of one great love-making session, Fartman. Today I fucked up by having a catgirl in my presentation. So, yeah, I am a PhD student and had to give several presentations this week. The last one was today. The text was already written, I just needed to add some generic images, to keep my listeners from falling asleep by a wall of text. I had a picture for nearly every page, except for 2 pages, which I didn't mind. I told my office buddy that I will maybe add a picture later, but needed to got to the lab for a moment. As I came back, he told me he added a picture for me. I did not lock my PC, so it was possible, but I thought it was just a joke, since we joke a lot. So I only had 5 minutes before I needed to join the seminar via Zoom, so I sat down, took a last look at my notes and then logged into the seminar. Everything was fine, then I started my presentation. The first half went good. I was able to speak clearly and was confident in what I was saying. As you can guess, I then reached a certain slide, containing information about hose codes for the prediction of NMR shifts. And there was a picture. Not at all related to NMR spectroscopy. Not at all related to science at all. Except if Elon Musk is telling the truth and is really working on genetically modified catgirls, but I doubt that. As I saw the picture I was speechless. I was unprepared for the possibility that my buddy really added a catgirl picture. From then on, I was kinda lost. I quickly presented all information and went on with the next slide. But my focus was gone. My ability to speak was gone. I was stuttering my way through the rest of the presentation, already preparing mentally for the aftermath of this. As I quickly finished and thanked everyone for their attention, there was silence. A quite uncomfortable silence. After a few moments, which felt like eternity, the professor spoke up and thanked me for my presentation, not mentioning the catgirl at all. The discussion was very short and not a word was lost over the hose codes, and I was not asked to go back to certain slides for clarification, as others had to do before me. After the seminar was over, I waited for an angry email or anything saying that I will fail the seminar or need to do another presentation. But there was nothing yet. As I confronted my office buddy about the picture, he just laughed. He had told me that he added a picture. I saw him looking at my presentation as I left for the lab, but didn't think he really changed anything. At least it was no not safe for work catgirl, she was clothed after all. But still didn't belong near this presentation. And #X200B. Too long did not read. I showed my professor what a catgirl is in an official presentation, because I didn't think my office buddy wasn't joking as usual. Edit. It was, this catgirl. Schrödinger's cat, girl. Well, your goal was to make the presentation less boring. I'd say you succeeded. Now you have a tradition to uphold. I would be disappointed if another catgirl picture was not included in your presentations. The text makes it even better. But I hope you learn to always lock your PC. Always. Next time it might be dicks. It's usually dicks. You didn't fuck up, your friend did. As a longtime PhD with over 20 years in the biotech and pharmaceutical industry, I always hide Captain Howdy somewhere in all of my presentations. Not sure how noticeable yours was. Mine usually are used for demonstrating when something goes awry, so a quick Exorcist one flash sets the moment perfectly. But you'll recover, and don't forget to stomp your friend. Today I fucked up by donating my blood. I have been donating blood couple of times. But today I am so embarrassed. For the people who regularly donates blood or have been donating, you may know how the process are. The process goes very well, with medical check, blood pressure and so on. It's just like a normal day for me, nothing wrong and all goes well. Usually, after the nurse draw your blood, the nurse will give advice to not use your hand that you got your blood drawn on, for heavy task or it may complicates the healing of the wound or some sort. And I nodded and said yes as to acknowledge her advice. And then, after all is done, I go out to my car. FYI, my car door handle is a bit hard to open, and I got my father to drive. With my smooth as brain, I open the car door with the hand that got blood drawn from. At first, there nothing wrong with it. I got inside the car, get seatbelt on. Then, my father drive out the parking lot, and I start chit-chat with my father. Then I feel something wet on my trousers. And I saw it completely wet with my blood, with my arm dripping blood onto it. Then, I screamed to my father, "Look, my arm." My father told to put pressure on it, while he trying to go back to the blood donation center. Not long after that, we arrive again at the center. With blood-dripping arm and blood-stained trousers and part of my shirt, I look like someone running off from a murder. I go to the counter and ask for help. Many people were there saw me. I don't know what they thought about me, I'm so embarrassed. Luckily, the nurse took quick action, and told to go to one of the rooms to manage my situation. The treatment went well, and I got the new band-aid on and cleaned, not my trousers and shirt thou. Too long did not read. I fuck up by not follow nurse advice after donating blood, and got shower of blood all over my body. P.S. I don't know if this good storytelling or not. I'm so sorry if there misspelled mispronunciation or grammar error as I am still learning English. Glad you're okay. Strange because I've always worried I wasn't allowed to use my arm after donating blood, but the nurse has always said it was fine, go about your life normally. Maybe your blood doesn't clot as quickly as other people do. Maybe you have a little bit of hemophilia? I don't know. I've donated blood plenty of times, and that sounds like a nurse fuck up, not yours. The very basic tasks you were doing should not have caused that. My guess is they didn't wrap you with enough pressure. Just going to be the first to say it, that is metal as hell. That really sucks. I hope you're feeling better, cause you lost quite a bit of blood. Shampoo for some reason gets bloodstains out of clothes. I have ruined shirts similarly and detergent doesn't always work, but my shampoo does. Dude, that's not a fuck up, that's legit some hardcore shit. We never got told this when I donated blood. Today I fucked up by surprising my coworker with a low-cut top. This happened earlier this morning. I work in an office environment and one of my best work buddies is a guy. He's cool, treats me as an equal and most importantly doesn't hit on me. He's almost 10 years older than me, married and has a kid. We always share office gossip, go to lunch together and the sort. I've met his wife on more than one occasion and even been to his house for BBQs and other events. His wife is great too and occasionally go out with her. Everything is strictly platonic. Today, after work I'm going out on a date, so I'm wearing slightly sexier clothes than I normally wear, including a low-cut, form-fitting top. I went over to his cube to say hi as I normally do and I lean over the cube wall like I always do, completely forgetting what I'm wearing. I'm also a little bigger than average. They are these half-height walls, just a little taller than the desk. He was busy working on something facing the other way at this computer, but when he turned, he caught an eyeful. Nothing fell out or anything, but I did catch him off guard that he was startled and immediately looked at my face and stood up. I realized almost immediately what happened and stood up straight and said I'll talk to him later and walked quickly away. I haven't seen him since and he hasn't said anything as well. Now I made things awkward between us and I don't know what to do. Too long did not read. Gave my best friend at work an eyeful and now we are both avoiding each other. Sorry about the boob show earlier. Didn't realize until it was too late, then move on. Not that big of a deal. No big deal. There's always that first time a male colleague, acquaintance has that, oh my god, you're actually a real girl, moment. Nothing to be awkward about, just talk to him like normal, as I'm sure he will with you. Why is this a big deal? Since you two are best work buddies, just go up to him and say, sorry I startled you last week with what I was wearing. I went on a date right after work so I kinda dressed for the date not thinking how I'd be viewed at work. Live and learn I guess. Smile and then ask how his weekend was. This one is too easy and not worth a funny rude post. I don't believe you. We're going to need some pictures. Play it by ear. If he doesn't bring it up, and he's not acting too weird, let sleeping dogs lie. If he does bring it up, or if he's being awkward about it, just be honest. You're going on a date after work, you forgot what you were wearing, and it was an accident. Friends are cool like that, they'll take you at your word. This is the kind of thing that should be no big deal if you really are friends. At worst, just mention it. Like, sorry, I didn't mean to give you a show, I just forgot I was wearing my date clothes. Then let it drop. Just so he knows you weren't implying anything by your actions. Friends should be that comfortable with each other that it doesn't matter.